So yesterday I played for you a clip from this past week's Face the Nation program on CBS, where the interviewer, Margaret Brennan, I believe her name was, tried to play these weird semantic games with Bernie Sanders, maybe under the guise of being sensible devil's advocacy. And it was all about Donald Trump's belligerence on Iran. And Bernie rightly had absolutely none of it. And he said clearly and plainly, bombing Iran would have been an act of war. Check out that clip. I did it earlier in the week, and I won't replay it for you today. But today I have another one of these just strange attempts to sort of sandbag Bernie Sanders. Yesterday was the day of Debate 1, Part 1. Debate 1 for the 2020 Democratic primary is split into two nights. One night was yesterday. The second night is tonight. Bernie Sanders is participating tonight, but he was interviewed before Part 1 of the debate yesterday by MSNBC. And he was interviewed by Kasie Hunt, who I guess was trying to play hardball with Bernie Sanders in some way. I don't even really know what it is that she was trying to do, but she starts trying to sandbag him about, will you get out before the convention if you aren't going to be the nominee? Because some say that you hurt Hillary Clinton by staying in this thing last time around, which is not exactly how I remember it going, by the way. Which makes no sense to ask specifically to Bernie if you're not asking every candidate, because Bernie's in second place. What about asking every single one of these candidates with 0.6% or 1.2% support that are clogging up the stage? They made the requirements, right? I'm not saying that by virtue of the requirements, they shouldn't be there. They made the requirements to be on the debate stage, but clogging it up time-wise and letting us not really hear any depth from the candidates that have a shot. What about asking them, are they going to get out on Monday, which many of them should? And this just starts to get really weird. And Bernie again points out, are you going to ask this to every candidate? What is this line of questioning? And then when the will you get out line falls apart on Kasie Hunt, she goes with, are you a Democrat, in this completely sarcastic and condescending way? Just a really disgusting interview. Take a look at this.
If it's clear that you are not going to be the Democratic nominee, will you leave the race before the convention?
I intend to be the Democratic nominee.
But if you're not, you stayed in last time. And some people say that you hurt Hillary Clinton's candidacy.
Well, no, some people say that if maybe that system was not rigged against me, I would have won the nomination and defeated Donald Trump. That's what some people say. So I think we're going to play it out. I think I am excited.
So you would take the risk.
I am excited.
Donald Trump
are you asking that of every candidate?
I'm saying if it's clear that you are not going to win the nomination, will you concede?
Well, right now we are planning to win the Democratic nomination. And I'm proud of the campaigns we're running in Iowa and in New Hampshire, and I'm proud of our grassroots support and the fact that we have 1 million volunteers. So our goal right now is to win it. And by the way, as you may know, poll after poll shows what against Trump? Shows me beating Trump by 8, 9, or 10 points. So we're going to beat Trump. We're going to win the Democratic nomination.
Are you a Democrat?
Of course I'm a Democrat. This is a Democratic national convention, a Democratic primary here, right?
All right. That's an easier answer to that question than I feel like we got in 2016. Senator Bernie Sanders, thank you very much.
Thank you.
She says he hurt Hillary's candidacy. When I think back to 2016, I don't recall Hillary being hurt by Bernie. I remember Bernie being hurt by the DNC. I remember Hillary Clinton being hurt by James Comey. Sure, I remember Hillary being hurt in the general election, partially by her own decisions about where to campaign and where to not campaign. This is a really, I don't even know what to call it. It's a soft, sophist attempt to sandbag Bernie Sanders by Kasie Hunt. And before yesterday's debate, I'll admit it had been months since I last watched MSNBC. I turned it on yesterday before the debate because I wanted to see how are they previewing it, who is commenting. Is this type of stuff common on there now? Because it seems to have gotten really, really bad. These are not the important questions for Bernie Sanders. There are all sorts of questions that could have been asked to Bernie that would have been more interesting. And I understand if you are going to ask Bernie about this, ask Gillibrand when she's getting out. Ask Tim Ryan when he's getting out. There's so many people polling under 1%. I mean, Amy Klobuchar, Inslee, Hickenlooper, Delaney, Gabbard. I mean, these people are under 1%, if not under 2%. Are we asking them when they're getting out? Because they could probably get out Monday and it would be reasonable. Bernie will support whoever is the nominee. We know this. This line of questioning is absurd. I'm glad that in the Sunday interview with CBS and in this one, Bernie is not allowing himself to be steamrolled with these absurd questions. And the most important thing is everything that is happening is anti-depth and anti-discussing issues. A debate with 10 people on stage each night with a minute answers and 30-second rebuttals only from some of the candidates on each question lets us learn almost nothing about their positions and about how to fix problems facing us. This type of interview doesn't create a conversation where we deepen our understanding of, for example, Bernie's foreign policy. I am one of the first to admit Bernie is weakest on foreign policy relative to other areas. It would have been great to just talk about foreign policy in detail, for example. Would Bernie be open to alternatives to Medicare for all that in other countries have worked really well? Talking about the Canadian system or the British system or whatever, right? I mean, there's substantive stuff that you can actually play devil's advocate with and confront Bernie about, which would be useful. I'm coming up with these just kind of randomly. Those would all be more substantive than, will you get out if you're losing before the convention? Or are you a Democrat? I don't know if this stuff is now common on MSNBC, again, because I don't really watch any of this stuff. I have no idea. But I want to hear from you. Like, is this what MSNBC has become? Because it's not great. Today's sponsor is Skillshare, and I'm excited to tell you that everybody in our audience is getting 2 entire months of free access to Skillshare when you click the link underneath this video. Skillshare is the site that offers over 25,000 online courses on almost any topic you can imagine: cooking, meditation, photography, video editing, Photoshop, managing a small business, almost an endless list. And whether you're trying to get ahead in your career, maybe you want to learn new skills that will make you better at your job, you might just be exploring a new hobby and you're trying to find new ways to be creative in your personal time, Skillshare's the perfect place to fully immerse yourself in whatever you're trying to learn. I really enjoyed the class on more advanced video editing techniques because it's something I've been wanting to improve at, but have been very busy hosting The David Pakman Show for the last few years. Once again, The David Pakman Show is giving you 2 whole months of access to every single class offered by Skillshare. After those 2 months, if you want to keep your subscription, Skillshare's super affordable at less than $10 a month. Get better at whatever it is that you're passionate about, or discover something brand new that you didn't even know that you would love, and join Skillshare's other 7 million users by clicking the link underneath this video.